get up into orbit, check out the Apollo systems, make sure they're working fine, and validate the Apollo spacecraft that it can go on to its next mission. So, on January 27th, 1967, they were having a routine countdown test at Kennedy Space Center. And like I was saying earlier, the spacecraft was built in a hurry. There were a lot of problems with the spacecraft. And one of the shows I've been watching throughout the week, that Chasing the Moon, had a story which validated what I've heard over the years. Gus Grissom was not happy with the Apollo spacecraft. He complained about the wiring. He complained about all the different systems that were, the seats were bad, the wiring was bad. And he even to the point that he actually had a lemon tree back at his home in Texas. He took, the week of the test, he took the lemon from the lemon tree, took it back over to Florida and hung it in the spacecraft. That's what he thought of that spacecraft. It was a lemon. He hated it. I mean, so Friday they're doing a countdown test, and they are having all kinds of problems. They're having communications problems. They can't hear each other, and on this series, I strongly encourage you guys to watch this. For the first time in ever my life, I heard the conversations that they were having the night of the fire. Some of them actually were, actually toward the end of it, when they were talking about the fire, it really kind of gets to you. But you got Gus complaining about how we're going to get the move. We keep talking between three buildings. I can't hear anything you're saying. It's garbled. And then shortly after 6:31 that night, there's a flash fire inside the spacecraft. And on that show, they play the tapes, and you can hear these guys screaming for help. They were saying there's a fire in the spacecraft. Come help us. There's a fire. Help us. And after about 10 seconds, the radio went silent. And that night, America lost not its first crew in space, not going into space, not coming back from space, not in space, but on a launch pad fire. Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee lost their lives that night. In a fateful evening in January 67. But after every accident that NASA has, and we've had 3 of them, if you want to count Apollo 13, we've had 4, but that was a successful film. But 3 fatal accidents. We go back and investigate what caused that problem, what led to this fire, and a lot of it was just trying to rush to make a deadline, a scheduled launch date. And so they redesigned the spacecraft. They made a lot of improvements, and they were able to fix it within a year, about a year and a half, and able to launch the first manned Apollo mission in October 1968. But a lot of people at NASA will say that if it wasn't for the sacrifice of these 3 gentlemen on that January night, we probably would never got to the moon when we did. If it hadn't happened on Apollo 1, it could happen on Apollo 7, Apollo 8, Apollo 11. It could happen on any of those missions. So their sacrifice got us to the moon.